I love that graphic. Well, the 2019 NCAA men's basketball tournament is underway across the country. And we're going to take a look at the Midwest Regional. That quadrant is led by the North Carolina Tar Heels, who are their region's top seed. Other top seeds include college basketball Blue Bloods in Kentucky and Kansas. It's also where Houston and SEC champion Auburn are playing. But the region has some potential upsets. Danny Welmiak, you are a sports reporter and anchor for our Kansas City, Missouri affiliate KCTV. She's also at Vivian Smart Home Arena in Salt Lake City. So, Danny, I want to talk to you about the Midwest Regional Games, obviously. I want to start with Kansas Jayhawks against Northeastern Huskies. What do you make of Kansas's season?
Well, I think, first of all, this has been one of the, you would say, worst seasons for the Kansas Jayhawks in a little over a decade in the Bill Self era. This is only the third time that they come into the NCAA tournament as a 4 seed. They were undefeated at home at Allen Fieldhouse. They were undefeated in neutral sites. So those are two things that are really working for these guys coming into the NCAA tournament. But they were not very good on the road. A big part of that was because they had to go through a lot of adversity this season. They came in to the preseason picked as the top team in the country because they had guys like Udoka Azubuike, Silvio De Sousa, and Marcus Garrett. But during the season, they lost Udoka Azubuike, their big man, one of the best in the country, to injury. Silvio De Sousa with the NCAA violations. He's been suspended. So their two best big guys have been out. Marcus Garrett dealt with some injuries, their best defensive guard. And then LaGerald Vick, now not on the team anymore because he had some issues back home that he had to attend to. So their only senior no longer on the team either. It's been a roller coaster of a season for the Kansas Jayhawks. And for them to actually come into the NCAA tournament as a 4 seed, at least from my perspective and probably a lot of Kansas Jayhawks fans' perspectives, is that this was a really good seed for them.
So in spite of all the men down that you're talking about, do you think that Kansas still feels confident against a popular upset pick in Northeastern?
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of young guys on this team. 4 of their 5 starters are freshmen. All 5 of their starters have never been to an NCAA tournament before. So this will be their first NCAA tournament game later today. And then I think that they are confident because Bill Self is one of the smartest coaches in the NCAA, and he knows how to adjust this lineup, move these guys around to make them successful. So inside the locker room, when we had a chance to talk to them, they know they can't underestimate this team because even though they are a double-digit seed, they're a very good team, and we've seen this Kansas team throughout the season be an excellent three-point shooting team. We've seen them be very good on the floor, but then we've also seen them go cold like they did in the Big 12 championship game and not even be able to make a layup. So you don't know what Kansas team you're going to get, so they know that they can't come into this game anything less than confident, and they know that anything can happen in March.
I want to also talk to you about Auburn and New Mexico State. What are you looking for in that particular matchup?
Well, I had a chance to go into the locker room and talk to the Auburn guys earlier this week, and they are also a team that's coming into this game very confident. They scored from 3, and nobody could stop them in that SEC championship game going up against Tennessee. So that was really impressive. But I don't think that they're going to be able to keep up and maintain that three-point shooting percentage in the NCAA tournament. It's just a whole different ballgame. And New Mexico State, the Aggies, they're 30-4. And they haven't lost a game since January 3rd. So even though the Tigers are on a hot streak, I think the Aggies are on a bit of a hot streak. They're going to be tough to contend with. And this game, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
So I absolutely am a woman who loves Cinderella stories in sports. What are the Cinderellas in this potential Midwest region?
Well, I certainly like 2 guys for sure. The New Mexico State Aggies, of course, that are playing here at Vivint Arena. I think that they have a lot of potential. They're hot right now. And then Kansas also played another team in their non-conference in Wofford. I think that their three-point shooting has gotten even better throughout the season. I know that they didn't even put up 50 points against Kansas in the non-conference schedule, but I also think that Allen Fieldhouse can be incredibly intimidating during the regular season. In the NCAA tournament, these guys that are double-digit seeds, they lay it all on the line. They have nothing to lose. And so they can change up and shoot from wherever they want on the court, and they come in here confident knowing that. So I think that those are my 2 Cinderella stories here in the Midwest region.
And, you know, the Midwest is also led by North Carolina and Kentucky. Do you see that regional shaking out? How do you see it?
Well, I think that all of the blue bloods in this regional are here because the NCAA Tournament Committee wants them to end up in Kansas City. We spoke with Bill Self earlier this week before coming out here, and he said, man, you think about it, UNC, Kentucky, Kansas, in Kansas City, in a regional, that actually sounds more like a Final Four than it does a regional bracket. So I think that it's going to be a lot of fun. I think that's the whole reason they're here, and I think that those guys will end up in Kansas City next week.
Well, it's a fascinating overlook, Danny. I want to thank you very much for joining us. Danny Welniak.